Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Hello everyone. My name is Annisa Nurul Fitri, NPM 244120007, Accounting Class 24A. Here I will explain material about critical review. 1. Definition of a critical review. A critical review is more than just a summary. It is a thoughtful, detailed evaluation of a particular work, such as a journal article, a book, a film, or even a theory. In a critical review, the writer not only describes the content, but also assesses its quality, significance, strengths, and weaknesses. The goal is to go beneath the surface, to understand the author's intent, to examine how well that intent is achieved, and to judge whether the ideas presented are logical, supported by evidence, and relevant to the field. In essence, a critical review is both analytical and evaluative. It involves forming a reasoned opinion, not just expressing personal likes or dislikes. 2. Purpose of a critical review. The purpose of writing a critical review is to develop a deeper understanding of the material, while also sharing that understanding with others. In academic contexts, critical reviews are tools for engaging with existing research. They help readers assess whether a work is reliable, valid, and useful for their own purposes. Moreover, critical reviews encourage independent thinking. Instead of accepting information at face value, you are asked to question assumptions, challenge arguments, and explore alternative interpretations. This process not only sharpens your critical thinking skills, but also contributes to the broader academic conversation by identifying gaps, raising questions, or proposing new directions for research. 3. Characteristics of a critical review. A strong critical review has several important characteristics. First, it is objective. Your judgment should be based on facts and reasoning, not personal feelings or bias. Second, it is structured, typically following a clear framework with an introduction, summary, evaluation, and conclusion. Third, it is balanced. You acknowledge both the strengths and the limitations of the work. And finally, it is evidence-based. Every opinion or critique should be supported with specific examples or references from the work you are reviewing. These characteristics ensure that your review is not only fair and credible, but also meaningful to other readers. 4. Structure of a critical review. A well-written critical review usually follows a four-part structure. Introduction. Briefly introduce the work being reviewed. Mention the title, author, context, and purpose of the work. Also state your main judgment or thesis. Summary. Provide a concise overview of the main points or arguments made by the author. This section should be neutral and factual. Critical evaluation. This is the core of the review. Analyze the strengths and weaknesses of the work. Consider the logic of arguments, use of evidence, clarity of writing, assumptions made, and the relevance of conclusions. You may compare it with other works or theories as well. Conclusion. Restate your overall assessment and summarize key points. Optionally, you may give suggestions for improvement or directions for further research. 5. What to look for when reviewing. While reading the work you're going to review, there are several critical questions you should keep in mind. Ask yourself, is the author's argument clear and logically structured? Are the sources credible and well integrated? What assumptions does the author make, and are they justified? Are there any gaps in the logic or evidence? How does this work compare to others on the same topic? These guiding questions help you go beyond description and dig into the deeper layers of meaning, logic, and impact. 6. Common mistakes to avoid. In writing a critical review, there are several common pitfalls to watch out for. One frequent mistake is confusing a critical review with a summary. A summary only explains what the author said, while a critical review interprets and evaluates it. Another issue is being too emotional or biased. Avoid harsh or vague criticism without support. Also, don't overlook the importance of structure. A disorganized review can confuse readers and weaken your argument. And lastly, be sure to reference specific parts of the work when making a point. General statements without examples tend to lack credibility. 7 tips for writing an effective critical review. To write an effective critical review, it's important to approach the task with both curiosity and discipline. Start by reading the work more than once, the first time to understand the content, and the second or third, to analyze it. Take notes as you read, marking key arguments, supporting evidence, and any inconsistencies or questions. Use academic and respectful language, even when you're offering strong critiques. Be clear and specific. Support your points with direct references. Finally, revise your draft carefully. A good critical review is concise, coherent, and reflects a well-thought-out perspective that invites others to think critically too.